Hi everyone, Mo Saha here. I am an artist, coloring book author, and an avid art journaler. And today I am working with my Grafix Mixed Media Journal in 6x6, and it is a collection of various surfaces from graphics such as the clear Duralar 0.010 inch, matte Duralar, wet media Duralar, opaque white Durabright, opaque black Durabright, natural chipboard, and once it's all done, there are 6 discs that come in this kit to put the book together. So if you have been following my series, then you would have seen that for the last 4 months, I have been working on this journal using various other graphics products as well as paint mediums and exploring the possibilities with these surfaces. Today, I want to do something very simple. So I am not bringing in another graphics product today, but I am going to just work with some acrylic paints, some basic paint brushes, and a paint pen, and a stencil, and create something on the opaque black Durabright craft plastic. And I'm following a theme across this journal, of personal growth and development, what I'm learning, how it connects to the various elements that are unfolding in my life, etc. And this is true for all of us. If we pay attention to it, we can see all these connections. And this was March, where I explored what I would call the strength of foundation, because anything that is built on a strong foundation of authenticity, our true values, tend to have greater support throughout our journey, because it is something we understand, it is something we value, and something we stick to. So that was kind of the idea behind the strength of foundation. Then come April, I did a 2-page spread again, going from like the change of seasons, where all the subterranean activity of the seeds and the plants and the bulbs that suddenly start to sprout, and this comes by with our patience. We get to witness this because of our patience. There is no other way. If we want to see the fruits of our labor, patience is a must. And this is it's very, very simple that a girl is watering her plant, watering the soil of her where her plant is growing, and the plant is now sprouting from here to here, and she had to be patient and she had to continue to work hard even though she did not immediately see the results of her labor. But now we have a flower. And so this brings me to the back of this page as in the surface, which is the Durabright craft plastic, and I want to work on this surface. There are more surfaces that I'm going to set aside. I'm going to set the previous pages aside as well, and simply work on this, on the back of this, because these plastics, they are so thick that it is very easy to work on both ends. And these are genuinely opaque. It's not like it is, I'm able to see what's happening on the other side and that it is bleeding through or anything. Nothing like that. A little paint did get in, but that was not because of the surface itself, but because when I was painting, a little paint got on the table, and then when I placed the surface back on it, it caught on some paint. Had I noticed it, I could have cleaned it off right away. I think I probably still can clean it away. Why not try doing that? So we can start with a clean surface today. So this is just a paper towel, standard paper towel dipped in water, and when I rub that, it just gone. Now I have a clean surface to work on. Today my goal is to make something very simple. If we enjoyed and if we observed our labor bearing fruits as we did in April with the flower sprouting and growing, this is also a time for gratitude. It is a time for gratitude every day. This is a very simple stencil. This is just a school of fish kind of swirling. I want to work with shiny paint. So my gold is very shiny. However, it might help to have a little more solid background because the surface is very black. I think instead of trying to do it just with gold, it might be helpful to do a little bit with yellow and then do a second layer of gold. Okay, because the stencil is smaller, it just took on a little bit of the paint, which I can clean off. This is one of the features of the craft plastics, that you can clean it off, and if you are messy like me, that's a very useful feature. Alright, so I'm going to pull off the stencil, and I can see exactly all the places where I got impatient. And what I'm going to do is do a little bit of a cleanup. Because this is a craft plastic, it is possible to do that. I'm just coming in with a fine paintbrush and cleaning out messy outlines. Let me take a bamboo skewer and see if that does a quicker, cleaner result. The reed pen that I'm using is helping me scratch off parts of the like the outline and the excess paint around the fishes, because that is possible to do with the craft plastic. And when I was doing it with the paintbrush, it was leaving kind of a little halo around the fish, and that was not. This is nicer. So if you are also in a situation where you are needing to clean up, something like even a bamboo skewer or a reed pen or something to gently scratch off. So at this point I want to splatter a little bit of gold paint all around the fish, because so the fish does not look like separate from the background fully. All I'm doing is tapping on my brush. I diluted my gold paint slightly. I just finished drying my surface. The paint looks dry, the splatters, the fishes, and it still looks pretty. It retained the shine of the gold paint, didn't get all absorbed. And now I want to tie this whole thing together with something I want to write. I want to follow the swirl, and that always following a path to add my thoughts have always been a very interesting thing for me. So that is what I'm going to try to do. There is no pencil writing or anything. I'm just going in with my paint pen. All right, I am going to finish this page right here. It's very simple. I stenciled in on a swirl of fish with some paints, acrylic paints, and I heat dry it. And as I have mentioned before, the surface is immune to heat. It lets the paint dry, but the surface plastic does not melt or become extremely hot to handle, or it does not give up any foul smell. So that is a huge benefit. And then also, because the surface is plastic, I was able to scratch off some messy stencil job that I did. And then I splattered some paint, and as you can see, the splatters did adhere beautifully. And at the very end, I just took my pen and I followed the swoop of the swirl, and I wrote, "I am surrounded by miracles and blessings that I am grateful for." And that brings me to the end of my page, and I am going to pull in the rest of my journal, just for a final walkthrough of what the album is starting to look like, the journal is starting to look like. But this was January, this was front and back. And some pages I'm working on front and back and using it to create my design, like on this one. And some places I'm just leaving it be, because the heart on top of the house kind of creates a little bit of a mystery. So this was the opaque white craft plastic, and I worked on the front and back, because when it says opaque, it really is opaque. There is nothing is visible on this side. And this was my April spread, left and right. So I am making this up as I go. Some places it's front and back, some places it's left and right, and some places it is just that one page, like I did with the heart, because I wanted to take advantage of that frosted frosted window kind of look, so that I can see what's underneath. And in a way, it's looking within, this translucency, being able to see through. Some of it is frosted, some of it is clear, some of it is opaque. And looking through that, it is just creates that mystery of aspects of us that we know, that are very much on the surface and we know. And then there are so much more of what it is like a tip of an iceberg. And there's so much more hidden that I have either not explored, or I am not ready to explore, whatever it is. So this collection of a variety of surfaces that lends itself so beautifully, that idea. So, and then, I have more. I think there's 2 of each kind of surface in here, and I am mixing and matching them. I'm going from a very clear to a frosted to an opaque, and then working from white to black and back to something else. So this movement, this creates a sense of movement for me. I hope it creates that sense of flow for you as well when you look through my journal, or when you work on your own journal. But this mixed media journal is really something. Not only individually, each surface gives you a lot to create and enjoy it, but also overall, if you want to give it more meaning, than just each page by itself, you can. For me, it's just the movement and flowing through things. And today, as I am talking to you, I'm still cleaning up a little bit of the things. As it catches my eye, that is something I can scratch off if something is not looking like how I want it to look. And some of it is also, embracing that imperfection and yet be grateful for what is. So having said that, I am going to say bye to you for now and see you with my next video as I continue to work on this mixed media journal from Grafix. Until then, bye bye.